Hey, I'm Mike Stern. I graduated Syracuse in 2000. I was an illustration major, and now I'm at DreamWorks Animation.
So talk to me a little bit about your path from Syracuse, from that program in illustration here to DreamWorks today, where you are doing work on some of the coolest movies that are yet to come out. We can't go this way and show your screen because it's so top secret. What did you do after Syracuse?
I worked in advertising for a while in New York City, and from there kind of piqued my interest in animation again. From there, I kind of pursued some different educational courses to learn the skills that were being used for future animation, and kind of one step at a time worked my way up through the industry into this position here.
You must love it. I mean, knowing that children sit in movie theaters and marvel at what work you've done. I mean, tell me about that feeling.
It's pretty great. I mean, this is something that I've always wanted to do. You know, it's always been on my radar. Like I think as long as I remember, I've wanted to be an animator, and it never gets old. And every day I come to work and I do something new and something that I'm really excited about.
You mentioned that, you know, for an average animator, it's something like 3 seconds of movie output per week. Does that kind of boggle your mind that, you know, for 1 week's worth you've done 3 seconds of movie? That's pretty wild.
Well, it's something that you get used to. You know, it's like we really have an eye for detail, and in order to get it right, you got to spend that amount of time on each shot. You know, just really finessing the details.
Now, obviously, you don't come out of Syracuse and sit right down here at your seat and start doing this kind of animation work. What is your advice to students about getting here, about getting the right skill set, about, you know, making this dream for them a reality?
I think the thing to do is just, you know, always keep moving, keep trying to like improve on your skills. You know, never hold out for any opportunity. Take the opportunities that are presented to you and kind of move from one to the next. You know, the longer you're in this business, the more stories you hear about how people broke in, and you very rarely hear that someone says, you know, I wanted to work at so-and-so spot, so I just kind of waited around, and eventually I was able to get in. It's more of like, no, I worked here for a bit, I met this person, and that took me over here, and I worked over there for a little bit, and then I worked here, and finally that opened the door over here, and I was able to get in. It's more about just kind of, you know, going into whatever door that opens and learning from that experience and bringing it to the next one.
I'm sure you've got to stay in touch with contacts too. I mean, that speaks to the power of networking when you've worked with someone and then down the road. I mean, we heard today that you know you work with people and that you will see them again even if you leave DreamWorks. You're likely to cross paths. Tell me about that, about, you know, keeping up connections and networking and, you know, keeping your hand on everything that's going on in this industry.
Sure. I mean, you know, my first job in animation was directly the result of networking. You know, a friend of mine was at a place that needed some additional hands, and that's what got me in the door. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily put the networking first, I'd put the work first, but a combination of networking and having the right reel will get you a good job.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Great visit
Thank
to
you.
DreamWorks.